Dead wrong. What's up, y'all? It's been a while. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Brian, and today we're gonna be catching up on wrestling stuff. We have a lot to talk about. I'm here with Manny, of course. He's back! Finally, after months and months and months of just trying to figure out how to get this channel back up and running, I finally got it. I finally got my account back. It took way too long of a whole process. But there is one problem. Things are a lot slower. The update that they put out has not been kind to me. It's been difficult to start things up and get games going because, well, the update's been very slow. So, you might want to bear with us for a bit as we try to fight through the slowness. I'm trying to see if I can see you. I don't see your name. Weird. Let me check my... Yeah, on your friends list. Oh, I'm playing Modern Warfare because we just need a background, so we just gonna do it. Oh, I see you. Never mind, never mind. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's freaking... It's like KG or whatever on this. I forgot it's KG. No, I got it. I'm here. Oh, there we go. We're gonna do some Warzone, by the way. So, if you guys enjoy this video, hit that like button, and let's get to the news. So, I guess we'll start with what's going on tonight. There's two shows. NXT and AEW. NXT's coming off a very successful takeover. It's one of the better takeovers in the pandemic. And it proved that NXT's still trying to build stuff. It's been a weird road for NXT going to the Performance Center. It's been a very interesting road. They've had some ups, they've had some downs, they've had some hits, they've had some misses. But this takeover was one of the better ones. It's much better than what we've had in the past. And it shows me something, but we'll see what happens. So we do have that tonight. But I guess let's go over probably the biggest show tonight, especially for Wednesday. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We'll skim through Takeover in a little bit because we have some very different predictions from what we predicted, and a lot of outcomes came out different. So it's gonna be very interesting. But we're gonna skim through the big AEW show tonight. By the way, we are gonna be doing a reaction, a little bit of a watch party, but from home. I'm going to be doing a Zoom call with Manny and Anthony. If you remember Anthony, he is Broken Freaking Neck on Instagram. He is the guy that basically is one of my best friends. He's one of my best mates. He's going to be joining us. And I'm also going to be I'm going to be talking about a different show that I watched this week. GCW Bloodsport. I've always wanted to watch a Bloodsport event, but I never got the chance. But I finally got a chance to watch to see what all the hype is about. And I can say, it was fun. But we'll get to that. So let's get to the AEW. It's the 1-year anniversary show for AEW. This is the first show, basically, 1 year in, which AEW in 1 year has had a very fun road, but also some things they gotta fix. But the first year has been very strong. They've had some great stories. They've signed some amazing signees. And the future's bright for AEW. But there's definitely been some ups and some big downs that have shook everyone. So, but I guess let's talk about the anniversary show. This is the show that's tonight. And by the way, this is the first AEW show with all championships being defended. We haven't had a show like that, I want to say, since like fully year, I want to say. Close enough. That has had almost all the titles defended. Oh yeah. Damn, it's been a while since I looked at the map, so I'm not sure. Stadium? Alright. 2, 1, let's go. Let's go. As I look at I forgot the camera's so weird on here. And I'm also used to different gameplay because I've been playing a lot of Cold War, so I don't know how I'm gonna do. I've played way too much Cold War. Way too much. I literally leveled up to the cap breaker of 25, and I'm waiting for it to turn to 40 so I can level up all the way and finish the beta. So it's been that kind of grind because I've enjoyed myself. So, but yeah, the Cold War beta has been amazing. Definitely. Second weekend's coming up. Friday. The second weekend's coming up. The reason they're delaying is because Xbox needs to step into the game because Xbox didn't get it yet. We were the earliest people to get the beta for like 3 days, 4 days. So it was great though. You might have gotten a little bit too early. You gotta wait until it drops. I mean, it's out now. You could pre-download it now, if anything. And if you have it already downloaded, you just gotta wait for the servers to open up Friday at some point. I think in the afternoon they should open it. Well, yeah, that's when they opened it the first time, of course. But alright, I'm on the AEW Instagram, so you should just put all the matches up here. Okay, here we go. I got it. Oh shit. Oh, yeah, I'm talking. Fuck. A year of great matches, a year of great stories, a year of funny moments, and a year of just a different vibe in wrestling. I know a lot of people give a lot of crap to Tony Khan, but I'm gonna give my tip of the cap. He has made some amazing shows. There's definitely been some big losses, but I think they're one of the best wrestling shows, other than Impact, during the pandemic. They took it the best. They had fun with the pandemic. WWE tried to be a little bit too serious and tried to change things that didn't work. With this version, they had fun. They had the Stampede, they had the Street Fight, they had all types of fun matches, but it wasn't so serious. It was just fun. They had fun with the pandemic. Oh, I got it. Yes, sir. Alright, one my gulag. But yeah, so let's start off at the top. This is one of the more anticipated tag matches in the tag team division. FTR and Best Friends. FTR won their last tag team defense in a pretty good 20-minute match. The ruling for these matches, and this is in the contract for them, they can only go up to 20-minute limits. That might change for bigger opponents, but so far the limit for FTR in their tag matches is 20 minutes max. So, but it's been entertaining. FTR's been really entertaining. I really like FTR. I love the heel old school work they've been doing with Tony Blanchard. Great manager. I think it was a perfect fit for that, especially because Tony's like really old school, and he can still work with Shawn Spears. Or Shawn Spears is going on the up and up finally. So, it's great stuff there. If I were to make a prediction, I'm gonna guess FTR wins this one. I think Best Friends is gonna show the best fight out of the teams that they fought, other than Kenny and Hangman, which we have to get to that. But I'm gonna go FTR. I see them retaining. I don't see them losing at this moment. They're really hot on their heels. And do I see Best Friends as a future tag team champions? Yes, I do. I do see them as a future tag team champion. But right now it's FTR's time. And yeah, so I got FTR winning this one. Oh shit. I absolutely love this team. It's one of the more, it's basically a team that's serious in the ring, but they have fun with Cassidy in the middle as their like little manager slash fighter. That team is always fun to watch, and I would hate for them to break up, but I do kind of agree with people where they're like, oh, Chuck Taylor doesn't have the best physique. Yeah, he doesn't have the best physique, but not all wrestlers have the best physique. Look at what's a really man that doesn't really have a good physique but really good in the ring. Look at like, fuck, I can't think of anyone, but there's some people in there that have not very good physique, but they're still excellent wrestlers. So I don't know what this argument's like, oh, he's kind of lazy and stuff. Yeah, he might be a bit laid back. That doesn't mean like he's bad in any way. Like Chuck Taylor's a very good wrestler, and you know, he might not be the most flashy. Like obviously the leader of like the group slash like the dark horse or like the Iron Man of the group is Trent, obviously. Trent's like the dude that basically is the force, and then you know Chuck is there helping him out. So I don't get this laziness thing why, but I mean I understand where people are coming from. Like, oh, he's not the best physique. Yes, I can understand, but I feel like it's not gonna hurt Trent and not Trent, hurt Chuck in any way possible. But obviously I'm gonna go FTR though. Like I don't see them losing at this point. Oh, definitely. I'd say at least almost halfway through the year of like the next year coming up, they're gonna be holding those titles for a while. I think the moment they're finally gonna possibly lose it is when we get that Young Bucks matchup. I think that's where we're gonna probably see the Young Bucks finally win the AEW Tag Team titles, but they're gonna be on a different level. So, yeah, I do too. Oh, it's upstairs. Okay, hold on. Yep. Open it. Ammo box. Yeah, sure, we'll take that. Oh, it's this gun? Alright, this gun's okay. But yeah, so, I have very high potential for FTR. Oh yeah. That fucking AK? Hell yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, see the helicopter there. Okay, so, oh, what's this? Oh, it's a bounty. Oh yeah. That all. Alright. Next match. Okay. Alright, so this is gonna be a very controversial match. It's the new TNT champion Cody versus Orange Cassidy. This is a very unique match. Cody is more of an old school style, kind of little modern style Cody with the new dark hair, while Cassidy is more of I'm laid back but I can fight. So this should be interesting. Obviously Cody won an amazing dog collar match on the 30 year of Jericho, which we'll get to. That I have some great moments to talk about Jericho. But very, it was a pretty good. It was a surprisingly very good match. Brody made it really competitive, and I want to address this now. The people that are saying, "Oh, Brody Lee's buried," he's not buried. Let's be honest here. I know it might have been a little early, and I do agree. It is very early for Cody to win that title again. I don't think that's the case. Oh, I got shot. I don't think that's the case though. I really don't. The Dark Order has really rebuilt themselves with Brody Lee, and maybe it's only one loss. This is Brody's like first loss. Like Brody has not in a while. Like since Moxley. I really I know it was early to pull the gun, and a lot of people don't like Cody. But I mean, he didn't bury him. Like the match was competitive. It was super competitive. If you're going to talk about a burial, talk about Brody and Cody earlier in the year. That's a burial. Yeah, that's a burial. That's what you call a burial. But I call it big, huge flop. It did work out in the end because Brody Lee's run was pretty good. Now, after Brody's first run with the championship, does this show me more things for him to possibly win another championship in the near future? Yeah, definitely. I might be a bigger title. I would even argue AEW World title. I don't know when that would be because right now the centerpiece, which is the main event, is Lance. So, but right now Brody, I think he's just gonna be a little more chill back and just have maybe some mini feuds here and there. You know, he does have a rematch clause, so he could have one more crack at Cody and make it a series, and then he can move on to someone else. But I don't think they're going that route. I think Brody's gonna move on, go to a different person, and continue to build up. But I mean, the Dark Order, were bro, literally they just rebuild themselves. They're not buried at all. But now back. Right now. Enemy soldier incoming.
Playtime's over, mate. You're going to the war zone.
I can see that. Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah, no, Dark Order. Yeah, if we're talking about a collective unit with about 4 or 5 people or more, yeah, Dark Order have the more collegiate faction. But if we're talking from a 3-person faction, probably the Hurt Business. But if we're talking a smaller faction, not a big faction like the Dark Order, yeah, definitely gotta go with yeah, definitely gotta go with the Hurt Business. Even though it was kind of a weird decision with Ricochet, but I'll get to that. We'll skim through WWE in a little bit. But yeah, no. This is about the match. Back to the match. Orange Cassidy's had a very fun road as well. He had 3 great matches with Jericho. My favorite one was the Mimosa Mayhem, and then it would have been the Fyter Fest match. The third one, the Obligation match, was okay. But the better one was definitely Fyter Fest. And then my favorite stipulation match for them was the Mimosa Mayhem. It was very different, very unique, but also really fun. And I think this is going to start building Cassidy more. I don't see Cassidy winning here. But if Cassidy ever wins a title, it's going to be the most funniest reign in the world. If he ever wins a title. Now, will he ever win one? I'm not sure. He could. But it'd be a long... TNT? I could see it. I could see it. If they want to switch it up and go for a more funnier reign and just let Cassidy be just Cassidy himself as champ, it could be a really funny reign. So, I think Orange Cassidy could win a title in the near future. But for now, Cody's going to retain. But it's going to be a pretty entertaining match. Because Cassidy's already had 3 entertaining matches. He had a pretty fun match with Brody. So, a very, very good match. So, he's had his good matches. And I think... Oh, shit, I got shot from behind. But I think... Yeah, right here. I got shot. But yeah, so that means, yeah, so that definitely means a lot, and I'm quite excited for Orange Cassidy in the future. So, but I'm gonna go Cody on this. Oh well, I died. I got shot from behind.
We got a proper fight here. Yourself sorted. You're up next.
Yeah, that. But yeah, so I think. Yeah, but I got Cody winning this one. Like I don't see him losing. He just won the title. Oh, yeah, I died officially. He did. I don't know if this is gonna be something that Cody turns into, if he's gonna turn back into a heel. I don't really know yet. Right now, he seems like he's a tweener, so he's like face, but not really. He's more. But I think he's gonna turn into heel. I don't know what babyface would step up for Cody, but if he is gonna turn heel, it's got to be someone big. So, but I'm gonna go Cody retain. I don't see him losing. He just won the title, but it's gonna show Cassidy that he's a future champ. So, yeah. All right, next. This is a very unique one, and I'm actually kind of hyped about this one. Hikaru Shida, the AEW Women's Champion, versus Big Swole. Swole. I do love her theme song. Yeah, so Big Swole. This is Big Swole's first big opportunity at an AEW world title. She's very high in the ranks. I believe she's like second or third in the women's division ranks. She's won a lot of matches. She did have a pretty strange match at All Out, but it was all over the place. But it was weird. It was weird. The feud itself was okay. The match itself was weird though. But Big Swole, this is a big opportunity for her. This is Hikaru Shida's first title defense since her All Out defense against a very good opponent, Thunder Rosa. This proved Thunder Rosa in this match. Thunder Rosa has a bright future coming up for her. I know she's doing the United Wrestling stuff, which she had a really good match with Persona Kelly in that feud. Very good match. And Thunder Rosa showed a lot of doubt, a lot of people that don't sleep on Thunder Rosa. So, and I obviously, I was a little biased. I went Thunder Rosa in this match. I obviously said in my head, like, she ain't losing to Shida, no way. But they're gonna have a really good match, and I was right. The match was it was one of my favorite matches on All Out. It was really good. So, but right now, I just don't see Shida losing the title. I really don't. Nothing against Swole. Swole's gonna get her shot at some point. She's a future world champion, definitely. However, Shida's on a roll right now that I think she's not losing. And after the thing that she had with the women's tag team of Ivelisse and Diamantes, I don't really see Shida losing. And I think Thunder Rosa's probably gonna get another shot at some point. Don't know when, but maybe she gets another opportunity at Shida. But right now, I got Hikaru Shida retaining in this match. But it's going to show Swole some massive potential in the near future at another title match. So that's what I'm going to go Shida though. You got shot? Tough. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Io Shirai. Yeah, Shinsuke I can agree with. Hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. 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 I don't know if there's another singles match going on, but they just have the 4 main world titles. So let's get to the main event. This is gonna be the hardest one to predict. John Moxie, after a very, very good Bloodsport match with Chris Dickerson on the indie scene, comes back to AEW tonight. He steps in back in the ring against a man who got COVID but was cleared to go, Lance Archer. Lance Archer's had a very, very dominant run. He started off really strong and just destroyed everyone in the TNT tournament. Then he fought Cody, unfortunately took the loss, but looked good in the loss. Then Lance went away for a bit, no clue why. Then he came back, destroyed everyone. He had a bit of beef with Taz's team for a little bit. Then, unfortunately, got COVID. Like, yes, I do remember that. And then he went away for a bit. Then he got COVID, unfortunately, so he couldn't really do a build with Moxley, which I kind of wanted to see a build for that. But now, we're getting the match. We're getting the match now. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, they won the oh, yeah, he won the Battle Royale. Yeah. So, he won the Battle Royale, but then he got COVID at that time while they were doing the build. So now Moxley and Lance is still happening, but there's gonna be a slight build, but not a lot of build as I thought. 'Cause I thought this was gonna be the most built match going into the anniversary show, but unfortunately Moxley, not Mox, but Lance had to stay home and quarantine, so he didn't get the full experience. Right. So even though Taz's team made up for it, and Moxley was mostly fighting Ricky Starks and Brian Cage, I feel like I kind of wish we had more Lance and Jake. Because while they did have in-home promos, Jake did, it doesn't quite feel right because I kind of like Jake in the ring with Lance. But however, this match has a massive potential to be really good. Lance Archer, these two have had a very, very fun road. If you remember from Wrestle Kingdom, had a killer Texas death match. Killer Texas death match. Oh, that ending spot through the table. Oh, that paradigm shift through the fucking table, bro. Oh man. Yo, facts. His head hit the apron, and it also went through the table at the same time. So it was a complete combination of that. Oh, it was a brutal spot. And then Lance using the paper bag, which was unique. I guess. But yeah. I kind of wish this match had a stipulation. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish this match had a stipulation. Those two in stipulation matches are the best. But I'm not mad though. I'm happy we're getting the match. This is the match building up. We thought they were gonna save it for Full Gear, but I think they have other plans for Full Gear. Now the big question that I have to ask myself, and you have to ask yourself, who the hell wins this match? This is the toughest one. Cause this literally could go anyway. Oh man, this is... No, I'll go first, 'cause I want to get my thoughts out the way. Going into this, Moxie's reign has been much better than his WWE reign. He's had some great matches with great people. Brody Lee, MJF, and even Jericho match, even though slow, very good match. He's had some great matches. He's shown why he's the AEW champion. Even though he stayed home for some of the run, he still showed, he came to show, and even Brian Cage was another good match. So he showed that he can have great matches with that world title. But Moxley, you are my Twitter fan page for a reason, and I love you to death. But however, I think it's time to put the title on a big monster that is on a roll. I'm going Lance Archer. Here's why. Lance Archer got screwed out of the TNT Championship tournament. That should have been his win to show why he is a world champion. However, they put it on Cody. Future world champion. But they put it on Cody. I was like, okay, that's one bump in the road. Okay, fine. I'm like, he's going to come back. He's going to probably win the Battle Royale and win that the world title. This is his time. Now, if Moxie loses his title, where does Moxie go from here? Probably somewhere in like the world / mid card with little feuds. I still see Moxie on TV regardless. I just don't know where Moxley goes if they drop the title, which I think is going to happen. I think Lance Archer shocks the world and wins the AEW World title and goes on a dominant run. No one is stopping Lance Archer if he wins that title. No one is stopping him. You can try, but you're not stopping Lance Archer. And him and Jake Roberts about to go on a massive run. Now, here's what I think is going to lead up to. It's going to lead up to some dissension between the two teams. Team Taz and Team Jake Roberts and Lance. I think we're finally going to get the big man match of Brian Cage and Lance Archer. Two big boys, two big hosses for the world title. Who wins that match? Probably Lance. But it'd be a great match. So I think that's what it's going to lead up to going into next year and beyond. I think I could see Lance having a very long reign for a while. I don't see him losing anytime soon if he wins this title. Now, there's going to be a lot of faces going to step up, but I think if there's one man that can hold that title and be a dominant heel and just destroy people left and right and make it entertaining, it's Lance Archer. So, I'm going to say it now, Lance Archer's winning the AEW World title tonight. That's my pick. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh, yes. He did say that on Dark. He wants an I Quit match. Yeah. John Moxley. We'll get Anthony's predictions when we get into the Zoom call. I think he said Mox, but I'm not too sure. I have to ask him. Alright. So that's our predictions for tonight. 30... Now we're going to move on to a different segment before we head to WWE. I just want to put out my 2 cents. Let's talk about Le Champion. 30 years of Chris Jericho. Oh, what a road it's been. From starting off in the old days as the Millennium, stepping up to The Rock in a promo war, and him roasting Stephanie McMahon. So many good moments. The feud with Shawn Michaels and No Mercy in that ladder match. To Jericho and Edge at WrestleMania. To Jericho and Michaels at WrestleMania, I think it was 19, yeah, right. To, well, you get the point. Jericho's been in so many situations that has made him great. And since then, he has been a god of this wrestling business. He is in the Hall of Fame tier of the GOATs. Guys like Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock. He is in that category. Because he's shown and proven why, then and again, he can rebuild himself over and over. Let's talk about the eras. He started off in WCW as just a normal character. They call him the Lion Tamer. Then he goes down to WWE, calls it the Millennium, Y2J, Chris Jericho. Then he becomes a heel and becomes undisputed champion, even though it was a short reign. Then he leaves for a while, comes back as Y2J in 2006 against Randy Orton in a really fun feud. Then he goes in a ladder match, doesn't quite win, but still shows some great stuff. Then he goes away again, comes back around 2008, 2009. 2008, one of his best runs. He had a great match with Shawn Michaels at No Mercy in a ladder match. Great story. Then he goes away again for a little bit, comes back at the Royal Rumble, has a feud with CM Punk at WrestleMania and Extreme Rules in the alcohol storyline. I do remember that. Then he goes past, then leaves one more time for his final farewell, the list gimmick, where he basically brings in a list. He's funny as hell. Him and Kevin Owens, best friends for life. Love that storyline. I didn't like how it ended because they didn't quite get a true WrestleMania match. They kind of did. They didn't really get one. But still, love that run. And then my ultimate favorite run, a favorite revision. New Japan Jericho. Dickhead Jericho. The man that Jericho is, he basically destroys everybody. He destroys Kenny Omega. Even though Omega does win the Wrestle Kingdom match, he takes him to his limit. Then he has a great match with Tanahashi, a great match with Naito, and even a great match with Okada. And Jericho has shown, even though he's been there for a short time, He could succeed in New Japan. Boy won the Intercontinental title from Naito. Nobody expected that. And he won that title and had a solid reign for like a good couple, like a month or two. Even though it was short, he still had a great reign. That's near there. Naito, of course, won it back from him, which is fine. But then, again and again, Jericho showed it when he goes to New Japan, he's a special talent. And I think he's going to continue to go because he does have a contract where he's allowed to be freedom and go to more places. And I think New Japan was on his map. So I could see him in the near future when this whole COVID thing calms down, back in New Japan for more dream matches. So keep an eye out for Chris Jericho. So, but my case is Jericho will be, if he ever, whenever he retires, and WWE wants to call his number and say, we need you for the Hall of Fame, he's going to be first ballot. He's going to be the percentage of the votes as a Hall of Famer. Like, there's no doubt about it, Jericho is... They call him a god for a reason. That's why. Jericho's proven the years he is a champion. He's a former IC champion. He's a former WWE champion. He's a former WWE World Champion. He's done it all. And he's still doing good to this day. He could still have a solid match. Might be a bit slower, but he's proven he could still go. At like age 50 something, he could still go. Jericho, you deserve this 30 years. I hope you go more years, man. You worked your ass off for these 30 years. And I'm glad to say, I'm happy for you, bro. So, that's my 2 cents about Jericho in 30 years. The way he's able to reinvent himself after a long bad tribute from WWE, he can rebuild himself so quickly. Like, when he went to New Japan, I didn't know what to expect from him. I didn't know if he was going to be a heel. I didn't know if he was going to be a face. Or then he just comes in and just destroys Kenny Omega, one of the top New Japan stars, before he leaves. Like what? Like, you don't do that. You don't go to Kenny Omega's home and destroy him. But that's what he did. And it fucking worked. It absolutely worked. Oh, man. He has. It's very true. First ballot. First ballot. He's got to be the main dude at the top. He can't be like the third person to like Batista or something. No, he has to be the main face. He must be the last interview for the Hall of Fame because he's done so much. And if they want, and okay, here's what we'll do. If you want to put Undertaker on a pedestal that no one can reach, I totally agree. Undertaker is a legend in this business. And if you want to put Jericho in that GOAT category, I'd do it. That's why I'm like, if WWE wants to bring back Jericho for a Hall of Fame speech, they're not going to do Taker and Jericho on the same thing. That's not going to work. It's going to feel off. You have to split it up. So I think they're going to do a high pedestal for Taker, a whole like farewell thing for Taker, and then if Jericho wants one, he'll have to wait either a year or a year later. But I think he's fine with that because he's in AEW right now. And oh yeah, definitely. And if AEW ever does a Hall of Fame, he's definitely the first one going in. That's a fact. If they ever do a Hall of Fame, which I could see it, yeah, he's the first guy going in. Jericho's obviously the first dude going in. Let's be honest here. Second, maybe Dustin. Who knows? But the point is, Jericho is that GOAT tier guy that deserves to be first ballot of the Hall of Fame and deserves to be on his own pedestal of achievements. Even if if WWE doesn't want to discredit the AEW stuff, okay, fine. But if we're talking from a career standpoint, Jericho's that guy. Jericho's been that guy for years. Yeah. You gotta give it to him. And I honestly think Jericho should have different people like present him. So like the ones that are best, like Michaels could present him. A funny one would be like Owens doing it, because Owens was like a best friend for him for a while and it was one of his better runs. I wouldn't mind Kevin Owens presenting him. I wouldn't mind. But I think if we're talking from a serious standpoint, I think Michaels should introduce him. But if Owens introduces him, it's gonna be a really funny induction because they're like best friends for life. Yeah. Yep. If he does that, that's gonna be a really funny induction because Kevin Owens is gonna go on and say like, "Oh, he's one of my best friends, but he's also a great world champion." Like it's like, yeah, I would want Kevin Owens to induct him in the Hall of Fame, definitely. Um, but yeah, Jericho seems like he's not slowing down anytime soon. He's still solid in the ring. He's got a great finisher still. He even added to his arsenal. He has a fucking Judas effect now, which is a back elbow. So, Jericho keeps innovating. So, but yeah, I just want to put my 2 cents because Jericho's 30th anniversary was last week, and he deserved it. And all the people that have congratulated him, I know Tanahashi was one of them that surprised me. Also gave him a congrats. Shout out to Jericho. I hope AEW does more show for these, for more legends. I think it would be really cool to do shows like these. I feel like WWE should do some shows like these where it's based on one person and not like a show. It'd be kind of fun. And AEW did it right. The 30th anniversary, I guess you could just run through the card real quick. We'll just say how everything went. We'll just go through the card real quick, if I can find it. FTW Will Hobb versus Brian Cage. This was alright. I didn't expect nothing too much from Will Hobb. I know Will Hobb signed a contract with AEW a couple weeks ago, I want to say. He signed Will Hobb, the big dude that teamed up with Moxley. Yeah. It was more of a Haas match, pretty hard hitting. Obviously, Cage is winning this. I did not see Will Hobb winning this, so Cage picked up the win. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Oh, yeah, she signed. Yeah, she basically, PW Insider was texting her and asking her, did you officially sign a contract to stay with AEW? She's confirmed it. She's part of AEW. She's part of the women's locker room. That's great. She's a really good wrestler. I'm pretty happy for her. She definitely deserves a contract. Oh, yeah, definitely. Alright. Alright, yeah. So, next match in the 30 Years of Jericho, AEW Tag Team Championships. A team we haven't seen in a while. TH2, aka Hydro, versus FTR. Obviously FTR was winning this. This was surprisingly entertaining. I always like seeing Jack Evans wrestle, very good, and Helico's pretty good as well. Haven't seen them. I've seen them a lot on Dark. I haven't seen them much on TV, so them to get a little bit spotlight was nice. And obviously FTR picked up the win easily. Fun match though, pretty high flying, nothing too crazy, but it showed FTR they're legitimate. So shout out to them. Yeah, the listing I think for AEW for talking tag teams are the teams that are future, then they're the teams that have potential to be future, and then they're the ones that are like maybe they'll win it, but maybe not. They're still maybes though. So the tier list for me that I think are definite future champions that I'm like, yeah, they win in the titles. Lucha Bros, Young Bucks, Best Friends, Jurassic Express. I think those are my 4. Yeah, those are my 4. And then you have the maybes. So like Hydra, of course, Hydra, just like how I said. It's another team. Trying to think off the top of my head. There's another team that's also like in the possible maybes, but the 4 teams that are definite future champs: Young Bucks, Lucha Bros, Jurassic Express. Like those teams up there, those are like the top teams that like when FTR goes down, those are one of the teams that can take advantage of winning those titles. So, but yeah, let's see here. Okay, and more congrats. Shaquille O'Neal even gave a congrats to Jericho, Tanahashi. There's a lot of names. TNT dog collar match. We said it earlier in the show when we were talking about Cody. This was a great match. It's surprising because most dog collar matches are like pretty bad. But surprisingly, this one worked. I don't know how, but it worked. No, I think they should keep this special, and this should be the only one, because this is the only one I think that's gonna work. Because if we're talking about a match that's as close to this, let's talk about the strap match at Royal Rumble. Fiend and Daniel Bryan. The reason that worked is because Fiend is really big, and the way they were using the strap was the right way, beating the hell out of each other. But this one was weird because they had the collar around them. In the strap match, they just wrapped their hands, so they had more visible fighting. With the dog collar, they had the collar on their neck with the hand, of course, and they could use it for choking, punching, stuff like that. But they're a little bit more limited than what the Fiend and Daniel Bryan could do. So, but it still worked, even though to an extent. So I think they shouldn't do one. I think they should just make this the main one, because I feel like dog collar matches, while some are bad, but then some are decent, this is probably one of the better ones. So I think they should just keep it away and just do that one. And by the way, I think this should have been the main event, by the way. Because we'll talk about the main event now. Main event was kind of a more old school match. It's technically 30 years in the making, which I never knew about. It's the tag team of Chris Jericho and almost forgot. Big Swole and Serena Deeb. Forgot to say that. A decent women's match, nothing crazy. Showing Big Swole's big opportunity. And Serena Deeb looked pretty good. She signed a couple weeks ago after having a pretty good match on Dark. She fought Thunder Rosa in a pretty good match. So, shout out to Serena Deeb getting a contract. Swole picks up the victory easily. Let's see here. More congrats. There was a lot of congrats. Alright, here we go. 30 years in the making. Chaos Project of Luther and Serpentico versus Jericho and Hager. While this match was not bad, this was more of a nostalgia. This was for 30 years in the making, because Luther and Jericho have never fought in the ring. Luther, coming from a very death wrestling style sport, very hardcore person. He's not like a normal wrestler. He's a very unique style. So this was 30 years in the making between these two. So that's why this match was the main event, because it's kind of a nostalgia factor. While the match wasn't great or anything, it was kind of just there. The history point basically makes it the main event. That's why it was kind of the main event. 30 years in the making, Luther versus Jericho. 30 years in the making. And then Hager did well, and Serpentico was just okay. So, while the match, nothing too exciting, Jericho and Hager obviously won. And Jericho had a great celebration at the end with Le Champion and champagne and, popping bottles, and just a great celebration. It was really great at the end. So, it basically a nice celebration. The funniest thing, and I remember this, MJF came out with Wardlow. Wardlow was on the outside. And MJF bought him a gift. It was a painting of himself. But guess what else he bought? He bought a clown. And Jericho's like, I don't like clowns, right? So he Judas affects the clown and then pops him with the frame. Yo, Jericho, why you gotta be so funny? Literally, when I saw that, I could not stop laughing. Jericho continues to do funny-ass moments. And, by the way, what do you think about this build-up between MJF and Jericho right now? Because that seems like where they're going right now. Because MJF lost the AEW World Title opportunity. They're not really sure what to do with him. So now they're teaming up with Jericho. What do you think about this, kind of, I don't know, I don't know if I want to call it a rivalry, but I guess like a build-up. Alright, a build-up. What do you think about it? MJF, Chris Jericho? Mm-hmm. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Right. True. Yeah. 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 So, yeah, so they've been building up MJF trying to get on the good side of Jericho, but Jericho's like, what you trying to do? But if you remember, they had a promo during Dynamite, and it was basically a revert to remember the really funny promo they had where they had the face off, and they both said Cody Rhodes at the end or whatever. They basically had a throwback to that a couple weeks ago where they were like, Jericho asked again, I'm gonna ask you again, MJF. Do you want to join the inner circle? But MJF's like, oh no. Should I join the inner circle? And they just went back and forth, and it just turned into something really funny. So it could be building up to another one of those down the line, but I guess we'll see how it plays out. But all in all, the Jericho 30-year anniversary was super fun. It was more of a celebration. Had some solid matches in there. And it was a fun show. It was a fun show to set us up for this show. The main show. The show that we've been waiting for. The 1-year anniversary. With all titles on the line. Title night, ladies and gentlemen. So, it should be fun. So, but yeah, so we'll see what happens tonight. And, yeah, so... Alright. That's enough of AEW. That's enough. let's get to the other side of the coin. Let's start off with the bad. Okay. Alright. Just calm down, Brian. Alright. So, WWE. Oh, WWE. Why do you? So, WWE decided to reset the rosters. They announced the draft during Clash of Champions, which was a very surprising pay-per-view. It was a very good pay-per-view, surprisingly. And they decided to have a draft. It started off on Friday night, with SmackDown's picks. And obviously, the draft picks I expected to go the same. Now, the one thing I don't like about this version of the draft, for some reason, they announced the Raw picks that we already know and the people that we know that are staying. I kind of feel like at that point, what's the point of it? So, I guess let's go down to the first round. So, first overall pick goes to Raw, and Raw selects Drew McIntyre. I'm not surprised. Drew, I would be crazy for SmackDown to pick up Drew. That would make absolutely no sense. So, Drew staying on Raw makes sense. Then, of course, SmackDown said we're not losing Roman, so Roman Reigns stays on SmackDown as your Universal Champion. Cool. Then Asuka gets drafted to Raw, and then finally, a change of scenery for a certain person. Seth Rollins, the Friday Night Messiah, the savior of Friday nights, is coming to SmackDown. This was huge for Rollins because Rollins needed to get away from the Mysterio family. Unfortunately, WWE did mess up, which when we get there, I'll talk about that. They kind of messed up, but it would have been nice for him to go on SmackDown. But they did something wrong that I'm like, that makes no sense. So, we'll get to that. Then the final pick for Raw, because Raw gets 3 picks, SmackDown gets 2. Hurt Business stays on Raw, which I'm surprised it got picked pretty high, but I'm not surprised either. You know, Hurt Business has been one of the more entertaining things on Raw. Yeah, so... Alright, round 2. Round 2, AJ Styles goes back to Raw. So he's leaving SmackDown, heading to Raw. Sasha Banks stays on SmackDown. Naomi to Raw. And a very surprising one, Bianca Belair back to SmackDown. Bianca started off on Raw. She came at WrestleMania with the Street Profits. She did a little tag team stuff. But then she just went away for a while. And they haven't really used her, which is unfortunate because I really like Bianca Belair. If there's one person I really like that can be a really good women's champion, it's Bianca Belair. But she basically moved. And then they kept Nia Jax and Shannon Baszler, because I forgot they won the tag titles from Bayley and Sasha. That's etc. Third round, Ricochet stays on Raw. I kind of wanted him to go back to NXT, but that doesn't seem like that's the case. Andrade definitely needs to go back to NXT. We'll talk about that in a bit. Jey Uso stays on SmackDown. No surprise there. Mandy Rose stays on Raw after the trade by The Miz, which I don't know why they did that, but okay. And then this was a stupid pick. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio to SmackDown. Okay, so let me get this straight. You bring Rollins to SmackDown because you want him to get away from the Mysterio family, right? This seems logical, seems easy. It's an easy pick. But then you draft Dominic Mysterio and Rey on the same show? That doesn't make sense at all, if any at all. Because it would have made more sense if Dominic and Mysterio go on their own with each other on Raw, instead of moving to the same show as Rollins and continue the storyline. Because the way they ended the storyline was just fine. Dominic losing at SummerSlam to Rollins, that would have been the end of it. Then they had a steel cage, okay, cool. But then the steel cage should have been the absolute last match. The steel cage should have been the last match. That's it. End it. But they kept it way too long, and it seems it's going to continue on SmackDown, which it's not the right move. Because I really like Dominic. Dominic's a really young version of Rey Mysterio, and he's a little bit taller, but he's very young, very quick, athletic. I get that. But god damn, man, why you gotta keep it with Rollins, man? Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's close. They don't. They really don't. Not if you're, yeah, especially.
What's up, Papa?
Hey, Steve-O.
What's going on, Daddy-O?
What up?
Good?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Mom. Yeah. Yeah. Like. Oh, I forgot you had your mask on. What's up?
You thought it was another mother?
Yeah.
From another father?
Stop. I know. I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
What's up in class today?
It was mostly the same. Yeah, mostly just more learning, more. Yeah. Oh, no, that's not better. Just more class, learning stuff like that. So. Yeah, but it went well. Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting for them to post it. It hasn't been posted yet. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure, man. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Let's go, Mom. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good. Alright. Thank you. Oh, sorry, that was my walking in. Yeah, back to the thing. But yeah, I felt like, I ain't gonna lie, when Rollins turned heel and changed his music, I didn't know what to think about it. I didn't hate it, I just didn't know what to think about it. I was kind of indifferent. But now I have a lot more respect for it because what they've done with him and Mysterio. I honestly thought going into it, Mysterio feud, I was like, okay, it's a Mysterio feud. Alright, we'll see where it goes. Then they added Dominic in the mix. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a chance. Let's see where it goes. Then they start doing some interesting storylines. They start doing the Buddy Murphy stuff. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I kind of like this. Then they have a match at SummerSlam. I'm like, okay, this is a perfect ending. Rollins coming out on top. He should be losing brands or something like that if they announce a draft. They announce a draft. Oh boy, Rollins might be going to SmackDown. We finally get the wish. But then you put Mysterio on the same freaking brand again. It makes no sense that they should be moving brands. They should have both stayed on both brands. Because I feel like Raw needs an extra, like, little high flyer. And Dominic could have been that person. But no. So, we'll see where it goes. Oh yeah, later on in, like, round 5 during Talking Smack, they said Murphy was going to SmackDown. Yeah, I forgot about that. Like, bro, I get it. I wanted Rollins to have a new change of scenery. Maybe he fights like Sami Zayn or fights Riddle or something. Or, well, actually, no, he had no interest in Riddle, so never mind. Which is fine because it's 2 different gimmicks: the Tribal Chief versus the Messiah, and I would have been fine with that. But now you have Dominic here. He's gonna be interfering, and it's gonna be just a whole mess. Listen, I want Rollins to succeed in this gimmick, and the second half of this gimmick has won me over. I really like the thing itself, but however, don't drag it out too long. What did they do? Drag it out too long. That's what happened. What the fuck? We'll get to that. I have some stuff to say about it. We'll get to that. Let's keep running through. Miz and Morrison on Raw. I kind of expected this. I didn't expect him to stay. I kind of want Morrison by himself, but what are you gonna do? So, okay. Then, the most shocking pick, the New Day, the SmackDown champions, who won it from Cesaro and Shinsuke on the first night, which is crazy, go to Raw, and they keep Big E as a single star. I would have never thought in a million years the New Day would be split. And I guess that's the route, because Big E is now a single star by himself. He finished the feud in a very entertaining street fight with Sheamus, because Sheamus did get drafted to Raw later in the night, which I'll talk about. Now Big E's by himself. So, I don't know what this means for Big E. I don't know if this means he's going to get a new facelift. I don't know if he's going to get a new theme song. I don't know if he's turning heel. I don't know what's next for Big E after this. For the New Day, I kind of know what their next is them, but I also don't know what's next for them either. I really don't know. I don't know what's next for Big E. Big E has potential to be a possible champion. IC champ, maybe even a world champ. However, I don't know what's next. I don't know if he changes back to his old music. Like, I really don't know. I don't know what's next for Big E. I don't know if Big E's gonna get a repackaging. I don't know. I don't know what's next for Big E as a single star. While the New Day have been gone, Big E has showed some impressive performances as a single star. Agreed. Fact. However, him with the New Day just seems weird. And it's kind of saddening because, I ain't gonna lie, when the New Day first were doing vignettes, I kind of hated them. I didn't like them. But then when they became heels, they won me over. I'm like, this is the New Day I want to see. But then them and Usos had a really good match. They had that crazy Hell in a Cell match. They had that amazing Battleground match, even though Battleground was a bad pay-per-view. They had that great match. But now it's an end of an era. Because without Big E doing the all New Day, it's gonna be weird. But I guess they have bigger plans for Big E. I hope Big E succeeds as a single star. Because Big E can be that single star. He's got the promo work to do it. He's got the muscle to do it. But you gotta put in the work to make us believe that he's a single star. Just saying it now. Vince has always had the love for big men. Big E has all the tools in the world to be a champion. Fact. He has the mic skills. He has the athleticism. He has everything you need. Maybe not his finisher, but that's near there. He has everything. But can WWE figure out a way to make Big E a big star? We'll have to find out. And for the New Day, when we get to the Street Profits thing, we'll talk about it, because I disagree with what they did, but we'll get to that. Let's keep going through the rounds. Dana Brooks to Raw, not surprised. Otis stays on SmackDown, not surprised. Garza stays on Raw. Now, this is the point where I'm like, Andrade hasn't been drafted yet. Maybe he's going back to NXT. Fact. Humberto Carrillo, I don't really care. We talked about Murphy already. Drew Gulak to Raw. Kalisto to SmackDown. Which is unfortunate, because Humberto in 205 was amazing. I love Humberto for 205. But facts. When him and Murphy had matches, and him and Tony Nese had matches, they were really fun to watch. And him and I think even him and Lindsay had a really fun match too. So I could even say with a doubt he was revising it for me. Definitely agreed. Like when he went to the NXT Cruiserweight division, like I honestly thought he could have been Cruiserweight champion before he came out to the main roster, but they brought him out too early. So I was like, oh damn it, why is he up so early? Damn it. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I really like Humberto Carrillo. I love him. Amazing. It's kind of the same for me and Garza, but I can't really detract Garza because Garza had a bad injury at Clash of Champions, so I can't really fault him for it. Unfortunately, he was my boy coming in when they did the shake up. He was my boy going into this. He was my guy. I love Angel Garza, but they just haven't done nothing with him. It's unfortunate. And then in a shocking turn, they break up Heavy Machinery! What the f... Okay. You put Tucker on Raw! If you wanted to have Otis on his own, you could have just had Tucker as like a manager. You didn't have to break up the team! Because what is Tucker gonna do on his own? The one that has the most charisma on his own is Otis, not Tucker! He's gonna go to freaking Raw Underground. He's going to Raw Underground. Yeah, that's true. And it's not even that I care about Otis. I absolutely love Otis. He's charisma. I love the story with Mandy and the love affair and everything. But then you messed up one. You broke up Mandy and Otis. That's strike number one. And then strike number two, you break up his best buddy Tucker to Raw. Oh my god. When Heavy Machinery came up and fought like Ricochet and Aleister Black when they were a team, it was super entertaining. Otis doing the Caterpillar was amazing. Tucker being the brute of the team was fantastic. They were just a fun, big team that could be future tag team champions. But now they can't do that because they're not on the same brand anymore. They can't win titles. What are you going to tell me? Otis is going to win the IC title? Get out of here. You think Otis is going to win the world title? No! It's true. It's not even that I hate Otis. I love Otis. I love Otis. I love Otis. In tag competition, in 1v1s, he's still cool to me too because he's lovable. He's a cool dude. I love Otis. Him and Mandy was a great storyline. The Royal Rumble stuff was great. But then you split up Mandy, and now you split up Tucker? This ain't it, Chief. This ain't it, Chief. This ain't it, Chief. Unbelievable. And then that's day one. Day two was very eventful because they had 7 rounds in day two. Yeah. Day two. I will say day two was a lot better, but not by much. Let's talk about day two. Day two. The Fiend Bray Wyatt first pick. I called this one. I said the Fiend's going to Raw. I am gonna miss him on SmackDown though, because him on SmackDown was quite unique. But I think Bray on Raw's gonna help, because him and Alexa have a really interesting story going on, which I'll talk about in a little bit. People want to see the Firefly Funhouse. People want to see the Firefly Funhouse. People want to see the Fiend. It makes sense. They've been the worst show out of the two. It's true. And I feel bad because I used to be a Raw stand, but then I moved to SmackDown because they had better shows. Yeah, way better stories. But yeah, Fiend Bray Wyatt / normal Funhouse Bray Wyatt to Raw. That makes sense. They need to help boost up a little bit, and I think Bray's gonna do that. And yeah, and I think it's been the most unique story with the Alexa Bliss thing, and I'll even talk about it later on. But yeah, so Bayley to SmackDown. They're obviously gonna do the Sasha Banks Bayley thing at Hell in a Cell. They already announced it. Cool. All right, fine. I hope Banks wins the title and just do something else, please. Thank you. It's unfortunate because there's so many talented women on that roster. Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, who else? There's like so many talented women in that division, and I know it's weird without Charlotte and Becky. I get that, but they're dealing with injuries, and Becky had us a kid. I understand that, but build up new stars. You have Bianca Belair. You bought her up at WrestleMania. Why is she not being used? Why is she not being in World Opportunities? Why is she only being in Battle Royales? I don't get that. And I could even argue Charlotte too. Since Charlotte's left, it's been tough. And I hate Charlotte. Which is tough. Alright. Randy Orton staying on Raw, that makes sense. I did not expect them to break up Randy Orton to SmackDown. While it would have been unique to have Randy Orton and Roman Reigns in a match, I think Randy should just stay on Raw and continue what he's doing. Then in a wild twist, the Street Profits to SmackDown. What? Why? It started off really strong because I had mass potential for these two going when they were in NXT. When they won those titles at the NXT Anniversary show, I was hyped for them. Like, oh yeah, Street Profits, really fun, cool. They got the red cups, they have the gimmick, they have everything. Everything's great for them. Then they started doing some Raw appearances. I was like, oh, this is great, can't wait. And then then they lose the titles, then they get bought up. They go on a little bit of a winning streak. Then they finally win the titles. I'm like, okay, let's see where it goes. But then they just get annoying and more annoying and 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 annoying, and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going until I wanted to break my ears off. Oh, thank you. The only good match they had in that feud was like against the Viking Raiders. That's about it. And maybe Garza and Andrade if Garza didn't get injured. I know they could give it away on Raw. Why do you think AEW has a lot of fresh matches? Because they don't give them away on TV that easy. Yeah, they might give you some big matches, but they do 6-man tags, easy tag matches. But then for the single matches, they actually have a singles match at a pay-per-view, so they have matches to do. Why do you think Moxie has more opponents? Why do you think FTR has opponents? This is why. And it's not even the hardest mistakes. It's the most simplest mistakes that messes everything up. Unbelievable. I know a lot of people are like, oh, logic doesn't matter in wrestling. It depends. For storyline wise, yeah, logic needs to matter. But wrestling wise, maybe not. But at least storytelling wise, there's only been 2 stories that made logical sense. But just have been a little bit too long. Dominic Mysterio and Rey and Seth, and then Randy and Drew. Oh, and the Jey Uso Roman. That's the reason why I watch SmackDown. That story's nice. I like that story. That's nice. That's nice. The Tribal Chief. The Tribal Chief himself, baby. No, I think after this, Roman's moving on. Roman has to be moving on after this. Roman's going to make him say, instead of saying I quit, he's going to be like, you are my Tribal Chief. And that'll end it. But still, I'm liking where they're going with Roman. I really like it where they're going with Roman. Which could be good. I do like him as heels. I do like him as heels. So, yeah. Yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, then they picked up Charlotte Flair. I'm not surprised. I did not expect her to move. Just, you know, put her in there because, you know, Charlotte Flair, stuff like that. Then round 2 started with Braun Strowman staying on Raw. I believe he moved to Raw after Raw Underground, if I recall. If you would have told me Braun Strowman and Keith Lee would have been fighting off in Braun Strowman's prime, I would have been like, hell yeah, sign me up. Now, yeah, that should be a last man standing or like a big brawler match at a pay-per-view. That's what that should be. More spotlight for Keith Lee. And don't even get me started on that theme song. Boy, don't even get me started. I'm not going to even talk about that. Oh, yeah, he's dressed as stupid, boy. The pants is correct. The pants is still the NXT pants. But the shirt. What the fuck is that shirt, bro? He's just... What the fuck? Yeah, I don't. Alright. Daniel Bryan to SmackDown. I know he's... By the way, congrats to Daniel. He had another son and stuff. Congrats to them. They had another kid. They had a daughter. Congrats to them. Congrats to the Bellas. But when are we getting Daniel Bryan back in the ring? I miss him. He's a great guy. He's great on the mic. Great wrestler. And he's really reinvented himself in this era of wrestling. I need Daniel Bryan back. I need him in that IC title reign. I really do. But I think him and Roman would be something special if they do that. If they do him and Roman in a one-on-one scenario, Daniel Bryan is the ultimate face and Roman is the heel, that could be something special. We've seen it before. If you remember, yeah, if you remember that Fastlane, which was a solid Fastlane pay-per-view, it was one of the better ones. That main event was fantastic. It went like 20-30 minutes long. It was hard-hitting, brutal. Roman did win, but it's a sign of respect. And it makes sense. So I would love to see Daniel Bryan come back and go for a world title, or because he's never won the Universal title. So if there's one man that can dethrone Roman, it'd probably be Daniel. I wouldn't mind Roman losing to Daniel at like a WrestleMania or something. I wouldn't mind it because Daniel he could be a Grand Slam champion and he could have the Universal title on the back of his belt. Oh, Rock versus Roman. Yeah, I kind of want to see that now after what Roman's done. Yeah, because I think even Rock said it before. Like he's still open to do at least one more match. So if he's open to do one more match, if his schedule's not too heavy with Hollywood stuff, him seeing him back having a promo war with Roman would be beautiful. Heel Roman with Heyman. Yeah, and Roman is a lot better on the mic now. He's not green. He's actually speaking like a beast now. I would love to see that. If you would have told me The Rock and Roman would have fought years ago when Roman was bland, I'd be like, take it or leave it. But now, you'll take my money. I'll watch that any day. Take my money. Take my motherfucking money. But yeah, we have to go to the down. There's a lot of rounds. Then Daniel Bryan, Riddle to Raw, Owens to SmackDown. So then what was the point of Owens on Raw then? That's my question. It would be lovely for him to re-team up with Sami Zayn. However, I don't think that's gonna happen. But that could be really interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Riddle on Raw. Jeff Hardy to Raw. And then, oh yeah, that was the last round of the pick. So round 2 was Braun, Daniel, Matt Riddle, Kevin, and then Jeff Hardy to Raw. Sure. I don't really know what to say, but okay. Number 3. If him and Sami Zayn have a feud, I wouldn't mind. Yeah. I feel like they haven't done anything with Owens. I feel like Owens in the IC title feud would be a good idea to get him back. I don't think he'll beat Sami, but if they do have a match again, because we've known them for years having great matches. The NXT match, the Battlegrounds match, there's another great singles match they had. They've had great singles matches. I wouldn't mind seeing another one. I wouldn't mind. I'd be cool with it. But I don't know if they're going to go that route. So, we'll see what happens. 3rd round, Retribution. Ali is saving the group. Enough said. Lars Sullivan to SmackDown. Oh, by the way, I didn't even talk about it in the SmackDown part. Why the fuck is Lars Sullivan back? I didn't even talk about it in the SmackDown part. Why now, though? Why now? Why now? Why? Just want an explanation, man. I want him to talk and say, why are you here? Why are you here? Anyway. Then Keith Lee to Raw. Yeah, obviously they're not going to move Keith Lee. Keith Lee has a big thing with Braun. And King Corbin to... Still on SmackDown. The one positive thing about Riddle moving to Raw is he can get away from King Corbin. That's a positive. Negative, King Corbin's still on SmackDown. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Then Alexa Bliss on Raw. This makes sense because she's in a... I'm guessing a relationship with The Fiend, because later in the night, Andrade and Angel Garza were having a singles match, and Zelina was on commentary for some reason. Zelina hopped back in the ring to try to help Andrade, but then he lost to Garza. Garza hit his finisher, done. Andrade's done. But then right as we're about to end, we see the music, we see the dim the lights, we see the cracked like screen. But then guess who pops up first? Ding ding, Alexa Bliss. You see her doing the wall. You see her doing like the Fiend taunt, and then the Fiend from the back, and then a double Sister Abigail. I'm really I know a lot of people are very indifferent with Alexa Bliss. She's not the greatest in ring, but she's solid on the mic, not bad at all. But they wanted her to do something. This is the most invested I've ever been in Alexa Bliss. I'm not gonna lie. In a while. Her as champion hasn't been bad. When she won it from Bayley, it wasn't bad either. When she won it on Raw, wasn't bad either. The Money in the Bank thing was all over the place. But other than that, I haven't been really invested in her. She's kind of just been roaming with Nikki Cross. But now I can say I'm kind of more invested than ever. And I'm kind of interested to see where this leads Alexa. It seems like it might be a Sister Abigail thing, or like a queen of some type. So basically, basically, the only one that can control the Fiend is Alexa, and the Fiend destroys people left and right. If that's where they're going, I'm totally cool with it, because I think Alexa can be a really good controlling kind of queen, or like a Sister Abigail that like he can follow, that like a follower kind of thing. I think that could be really cool. And then like Funhouse Bray is in good relationships with normal Alexa, so Alexa has her dark side, and then Alexa has her normal side, but not too normal, kind of brainwashed. So we'll see where the story goes, but I'm really liking where they're going with this. This is probably the one most intriguing thing, other than Roman and Jay, going on in WWE right now. That's a fact. Then, oh yeah, Elias returned. Irrelevant. Kill me. And I hate to say this, and I respect Smack with all my love, but he got so hyped for Elias, I wanted to throw up. No, smack. I wanted to throw up so bad, but I didn't. He smashed Jeff Hardy with the guitar, and I think it was either AJ. Oh no, it was Rollins. Rollins took the win in a so-so triple threat to send Rollins to SmackDown. So Rollins had a farewell, and you know. No, I'm not mad at Rollins winning at all. I think Rollins, a good send-off is for him to win. Makes sense. He's irrelevant to me, man. I'm sorry, man. He had a terrible face run. He had a terrible thing with Corbin. I just don't even. I irrelevant. Then Sami Zayn on SmackDown, that makes sense. I'm happy Sami Zayn on SmackDown. No moving there. That makes sense. And that's then Lacey Evans. Okay. And it's Cesaro and Shinsuke staying on SmackDown. That makes sense. I really don't know what they're doing with the tag team, because later in the night during those picks, they just switched titles. So then what was the point of moving the Street Profits then? You're just gonna eliminate the title history of what the Street Profits have had and the New Day? That makes no sense. It's two different titles. Just combine them. I don't get it. What? How do you just flip, bro? It's like if remember those really good-looking tag titles that like the Miz and Big Show had? They had like a really long reign, even though it wasn't the greatest. It was still a title reign. It's basically, imagine taking that title reign and taking a really fun title reign like Daniel Bryan's and Kane's and flip-flopping them. You can't do that! There's two different titles! The penny titles are the Team Hell No Team, and then the unified tag titles is by Big Show and Miz. That makes no sense! There's no logic in that! How does that make sense? If they do not unify the titles by the Royal Rumble or something, that's a failed move. The tag team is still dead if they don't do that. Because the only hope is for them to unify them. That's the only hope they have, because the tag teams are so small. It's an easy fix. You combine the brands, you combine them together, and you have them fight on two brands with titles. That's it. It's simple. Simple. That's it. That's all you do. It's a simple move. But no, we're just gonna flip flop the titles and let title history. What? Oh, God. And then Sheamus to Raw. I guess it's just to get him away from Big E. Okay. Not. Street Fight was very entertaining. Yes, it surprised me how entertaining it was. It was really good. Nikki Cross and Nikki Cross to Raw. I mean, if you want to do a Nikki Cross Bliss match, sure. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. I kind of wish Robert Roode went back by himself to NXT, but that's probably not going to happen now. R-Truth with the relevant title stays on Raw. Okay. And then Apollo Crews to SmackDown. You need to go back to NXT. A person I forgot. Oh, and that Daba KO guy from Raw Underground got drafted to Raw. Okay. Hey, it's on the list. I gotta say, okay. And then after they had a couple more picks on Raw Talks, this is the final part. Titus O'Neil, irrelevant. Carmella could do something. Peyton Royce stays on Raw. Aleister Black to SmackDown. That made no sense. Akira Tozawa to Raw. Well, I'm not surprised. He's doing a ninja stupid thing. Lana to Raw, and then Natalya to SmackDown. I mean, if you want to split them up, sure. Riddick Moss to Raw. Riot Squad to SmackDown. Yeah. Riot Squad to SmackDown. I think that's going to be a big move for Liv. And then Arturo Rujas on Raw. And then that's the end. That's the end. That's the end. Yeah, that's the end. And that's all the draft pool. Oh, almost forgot. Let's say Dorado and Grand Metalik also drafted a Raw. Shorty Dree goes to Mondays, and then yep, and that's it. That's it. Those are the only ones. And that's the draft. And even on the worst part, you're telling me you have Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Bianca Belair. Who else you have? Lacey Evans. And you pick Lana to win the Battle Royale? Lana. Is that because Miro's in AEW? Is this why WWE? Do you have a grudge for Rusev leaving you? You're the one who released them. Huh? You're the one who released them. You said you can go. You gave him a 5-year contract, homie. It's not your fault. Oh, wait. It is your fault. You had massive potential in Rusev, who was a Bulgarian brute with a really, really hot manager, Lana, coming up from the main roster to dominate. He does that. For the first half, him and Cena, great feud. Fortunately, Cena won, but Rusev looked good in the loss. Then you do nothing with him. Then he gets injured. Then he gets a Rise Rusev Day. Love Rusev Day. Miss it. Happy Rusev Day. Well, now it's Miro Day, but it's near there. Happy Rusev Day. Does that. They could have won the tag titles. You didn't give him the tag titles. Why? Then he leaves. Then he goes in a terrible thing that Bobby Lashley just basically ended him after that. But then finally, Miro gets his shot. He teams up with Kip Sabian. The best buddies. The one that's going to do the bachelor party. You know? And while even though his debut match, even though his debut did not go planned, which is, it happens. It happens. It's your first match. It's just, they didn't quite get the spots that could have been nice. They had a really interesting spot with Kip Sabian flying over, like, Rusev's shoulders. That could have worked, but the move was botched completely. So that's why it was off. That's why I feel like that's the problem I had with Miro's debut. The moves that they did were very botched. But I had a feeling when they did the practice, it was smooth. So I'm not worried about Miro, even though it was his first match. Because then he hit the game over, which is the accolade, of course. I'm gonna have to get used to that, saying the game over. Whatever. But yeah, basically the game over is the accolade. Even JR called the accolade like, on accident, but that's near there. He just felt better in AEW. He feels like he has more freedom. He's not locked away. He has a funny character now. No, but he's still a badass. He's still a badass brute that kicks ass. He does that cool kick that he still does that I love, that cool side kick he does that Rusev can only pull off. So, but is that why Lana's getting a title opportunity? If Lana wins the championship, whenever this match happens, I don't know if it's a Hell in a Cell, I don't know if it's next week, who knows? Whenever this match happens, and Lana wins the title, I'm officially done with this company in general. Yeah. Whenever the women's division is on, I'm just gonna watch YouTube. Yeah. I'm gonna watch YouTube and wait for something interesting to come up. When Roman's on, I pay attention. When Drew's on, I pay attention. When Orton's on, I pay attention. When Riddle's on, I pay attention. Even though Lee's starting to turn irrelevant, I still pay attention because it's Keith Lee. I love Keith Lee. I can't deny that. So, you're there. Oh yeah, go ahead. But if you let Lana win that title on Monday, or at the next pay-per-view, your women's division is officially dead. If you let Lana hit that bitch-ass finish on Asuka, your division is officially finished. And And all we have left is SmackDown. Fact. Back. Lana wins this title, WWE. Your division is officially dead if Lana wins that title. It's dead. If Asuka loses clean to Lana, you officially lost all credibility in the women's division. And I don't even care if Sasha has the best run of her life. I don't care. I don't care. And I like Sasha Banks too. I really do. I know a lot of people hate her. I actually really like her. She had one of her best promos on Bayley last week. But now, if Lana wins that title, I don't care. Because this proves why WWE doesn't. This proves why WWE just likes pretty women that can't wrestle. Fact. Exactly. Because you have a great, formerly known fighter in Katana, aka Asuka, who was a dominant champion in NXT, 500-day reign, comes up to the main roster, starts really strong, has a decent feud with Emma, then wins the Royal Rumble, the first women's Royal Rumble, goes to WrestleMania, she loses to Charlotte. Okay, strike one. Then she just floats around and doesn't do anything. Strike two. Then, okay, up and up. She wins the SmackDown Women's title. Okay, this can go somewhere. But then she loses again. So, then she re-teams up with Kyrie, which kind of revives her slightly. Keyword, slightly. And then down again because now she's a women's champion that I don't care about, unfortunately, because they just let her talk when in NXT she barely talked and just kicked ass, which made her kind of cool in a way. It's a fact. It's a fact, man. So yeah, that happened. So going into Hell in a Cell, the three main Hell in a Cell matches, two of them have potential to be really good. Roman J has potential to be really good. Drew and Randy has potential to be really good. Bayley and Sasha, hit or miss. The last women's one we had was very good. Sasha and Becky, very good. I cannot deny that. Will it be as good as that? I highly doubt it, but we'll see what happens. So, but yeah, that's the WWE Draft for you. Where the relevant names get drafted and keep the same storylines and nothing changes. There's WWE for you. No change. That's your tagline. No change. Let me move on to NXT. After I finish this, yeah, we can do a match. Cause then I lose the stream if I don't. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I already have a solid hour and 40 minutes of footage to do that. So, NXT. It's been interesting. Well, it wasn't nothing too. Well, it was kind of. I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of a disappointing episode. I'm not gonna lie. After a very strong takeover, it's kind of disappointing. Not gonna lie. Nothing too interesting happened. Nothing interesting happened. Really? Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano. I do agree with that. Oh yeah, for sure. That ties the Finn Balor match that they had at In Your House. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, but no, it was still entertaining though, right? Yeah. But I think there's one thing that I would say, the two reveals of the two women coming back after, even though EO Candice was a little disappointing, the ending of that was very good. They revealed the woman in the code bike was Ember. I'm really happy for her. I miss her. I miss her finisher. I'm happy she's back. And to see Toni Storm come on the screen again, that's another woman that I miss. I miss Toni Storm. So I'm happy for them that they're back. So, good on them. And the middle, I despised that fucking Velveteen match. What the hell was that? Like, bro. Yeah, that's a fact. Oh my god, yeah, bro. That was his punishment. Yeah. It did feel like that, for real. For real, like, bro. I just didn't care about it, like, at all, to be honest. Alright, then that happened. I'm trying to remember what else happened. Was there an NXT tag title match? No, there wasn't. So, Camilla O'Reilly, Sheeta Dream, women's match. I feel like I'm missing a match. I don't know what match I'm missing. I feel like I'm missing something. I can't think about it. Cause it was Priest Gargano to start. Kushida and Dream. There was another match in between that I don't remember. You know what? Let me just. I think 31 was the last takeover, right? Yeah, takeover 31 was the last takeover. I will say the announcement of Halloween Havoc coming back, I kind of like that. I miss Halloween Havoc. Here. I think I have it. Hold on. Well, yeah, I know that I have it. I'm just trying to see if I missed anything else. Oh, the cruiserweight match. That's what I was missing. Like, the hell am I missing? I expected that so better, bro. Yeah, it was bad. And I feel bad because I'm like, these are the two that you could build a company, like you could build NXT around, because these two are like really good hard workers. Like, I really like Isaiah Swerve Scott, Shane Strickland. I really like Santos Escobar, aka El Fantasma. I respect both of them. I respect the men. And I was waiting for this match since they started feuding, because I'm like, oh, this is the Cruiserweight match that's going into the next TakeOver. They didn't do it at the last TakeOver. They had a 6-man tag. So I was like, okay, when are we going to get this match? And they finally announced the match. I'm like, oh, yes, it's going to be great. But then we got that, and I'm like, wait, after all that, you give us this? What the hell is this? What the hell is this? It's unfortunate. Yeah, man. No, Garza. And you also can argue Jordan Devlin, because Devlin won the title from Garza. If you remember for Worlds Collide, he won the damn title. He won the damn title. So if he ever does come back, yeah, it'll spice it up a little bit, because different talent, different UK. But goddamn, man, so much potential for Escobar. The only hope they have now is if their team wins a title, his faction wins a title. That's like the only little hope I have left. If they do win the NXT tag titles and go on a decent run, that's about it. Everything else, no. And then Io Candice was so disappointing, because I remember the match that they had a long time ago at, oh god, what TakeOver was it? Fuck, I can't think of the TakeOver that they had a match at. Oh my god, it was so long ago. They had a really good singles match at a different TakeOver that was way better than what we got. Because I had high hopes for this. I had really high hopes for this. This TakeOver had massive potential. But the two matches were the only two good matches, unfortunately. Because Finn and Kylo was solid. Started a little slow for me because it's more technical. But other than that, great match. Great match. And it shows potential for Finn Balor as NXT champion. So. But other than that, there was nothing good from there. Yeah, so my favorite things from that was the Gargano Priest main event and the return of Ember Moon, and that's it. Everything else, I'd push it over to the side. At least Io has more opponents. At least she had Ember Moon next, and then probably Tony at some point. Let's see. Well, at least we got AEW to come over. Oh, what do you think about the I wouldn't say brand new, but the rebranding of the Capital Wrestling Center or whatever, which is the NXT the design of it, where they have like the cages and they have like the virtual fans and then the fans in the middle. Yeah, I think it's better than the Thunderdome. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. You get two balances. You get the virtual fans on the top and you get the fans on the bottom. And NXT crowd's always hot, so it works out. And they're nicely social distance, so yeah, it works out. It really does work out. It works out nicely. But I obviously think still the best like version of like the pandemic fans is probably AEW's. They're like much louder and you could tell they're there. But NXT's is definitely second strongest, definitely. And like presidential wise, it actually looks really like good. Like if you see it from like a pay-per-view standpoint, it looks good. Bro, if Priest took another step finish like during that Johnny match, I would have been like, oh shit. Cause they were reverting it back, cause he had the steps or whatever, he almost landed on them again. Like how Finn did. I would have been like, oh god. And I believe that's all we have. Yeah, we caught up. Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I don't know if we're gonna be. Well, whenever you get on, cause I don't know. I'm hoping this slow thing. I hope. Oh. Yeah, 7:50. I'll call y'all. Cause we'll talk to Anthony and see what his predictions is about. Cause we got hours in. We gotta talk about his. Yeah, I'll stop streaming in a second. One more thing I just want to say to my fans. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm finally back. Now here's the thing. I want to do this new thing where I give a shout out to a match that's not WWE or AEW. Shout out to Tom Lawler and Homicide. They had a Bloodsport match. And that was one of my favorite matches on Bloodsport. It was so brutal and fun. That match was fun, bro. It was fun. Yeah, bro. Stomped him in his face. But Tom Lawler didn't give up, though. He got up right after, bro. And then Lawler got him with the submission and tapped out Homicide. Like, bro. Oh, my God. And then another match. And then shout out to the women. Allison Kay and Killer Kelly. Shout out to them. Another amazing match in the women's tournament. They had I think a one-day women's tournament. It was 4 women. It was a Lindsay Snow girl I'm not quite sure about. There was some girl from Portugal. Then there was Killer Kelly and Allison Kay. That was the first round, and that match went like 20 minutes long, and it was amazing. It was great grapple wrestling. There were some great strikes in there. It's surprising fashion. Allison Kay won. I thought Killer Kelly was gonna win, but Allison Kay won. But I was fine with it. The finals was a little disappointing because it went a little too short, and Allison Kay actually lost. But other than that, the show was great. And shout out to Moxley and Chris Dickerson. That was an amazing main event. Moxley showed why he is born for Bloodsport. I want Moxley back in Bloodsport. He was entertaining to watch. The finish was so Dickerson was down on his head, right? And Dickerson was trying to go for a submission, right? Moxley reversed it, hit a paradigm shift, and then did a sleeper hold, but wrenching his neck back all the way back. So it looked like he was basically making him go to sleep. It looked so brutal. It's like, oh, this shit's sick. So Chris Dickerson, yeah. Chris Dickerson. He's been with Bloodsport for a while. It was originally supposed to be Moxley and the producer, Josh Barnett. But Barnett had to back out because he had to do producer role, so he couldn't do it. But that was the original match. This whole Moxley debut in Bloodsport, this wasn't supposed to happen. That was supposed to happen at WrestleMania weekend. That was one of the matches supposed to happen at WrestleMania weekend, but then COVID got through, so they had to move it back to a later date, and then they finally announced in October Bloodsport. So like 14 minutes long. Wasn't too long, not too short, but it was still entertaining as hell. And I know everybody asks me, oh, isn't Bloodsport like a really different style? For you little lesser known minds, for you little lesser known guys, it's basically if you were to take Raw Underground but make it way more realistic and way more fun. That's like the easiest way I can put it. Because Raw Underground is fake and kind of scripted and not very good. This is actually legitimate, good submission wrestling, but fun. And you can still do finishers and everything. You can do suplexes, you can do powerbomb. Yo, did you see what happened to Josh Alexander? Oh my god. Yo, I need to send you this. Bro, he got powerbombed so bad it knocked him out. He was taking on Davey Boy Smith, by the way. Oh my god, I think I have it on my Fight app. I need to send you this, bro. Josh Alexander, an amazing submission wrestler from Impact, the one that teams up with the North. He showed up at Bloodsport for the first time. And he got fucked up by Davey Boy Smith, bro. Oh boy, he got messed up. Oh man, he got messed up. It went so bad for him, bro. Like, bro, it went bro, he got absolutely messed up. Absolutely messed up. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna take a clip of it right now. I think I have it on my phone. Yeah, I have it on my phone. I might need to. Homicide and Tom Lawler, Josh Alexander, Moxley, Simon Gotch. You remember Simon Gotch from the Vaudevillains? His name is Simon Grin. He was there. He got a win. And I think that's like the notable ones, I think. There were some cool other ones there. There was like this Tankman dude that had like a super popular. I didn't really know who he was. He got a knockout. So that was cool. Kind of, but if you were to take it and do it from a wrestling standpoint, so it's basically like if you were to take like Raw Underground, but have realistic fighting and realistic like submissions. So it's like actual submission people that know how to do it. And Josh Barnett. Joey Janela is hosting the spring break, and it happened Saturday, I think. Sunday was Bloodsport. It happened Saturday. I heard it was a good show. I heard ACH and Leo Rush had a match. I'm kind of intrigued by that. Jordan Miles. You know that guy that basically said all that bullshit about WWE. The guy that was complaining about the shirt, ACH. Him and Leo Rush had a match. I'm kind of intrigued. I kind of want to go watch that. It sounds fun. But yeah. So yeah, Joey Janela always does a spring break show. He did his spring break show Saturday, and it's actually filmed at his house. Yeah, his house. His house became a ring, and it just goes crazy. Like GCW goes wild in those shows, bro. Like crazy, bro. So, I need to download the Fight app real quick. Do I not have it downloaded? Oh no, I don't. Damn it. Alright, let me re-download it real quick. I can probably take a video from here. I'll probably have to be an iPhone video, so I'll probably send it to the phone. Yes, Allison K. Where is it? Where is it? That's not it. That's the other guy. Yo, I love how, like, Tom Lawler is, like, supposed to be a heel or whatever, but when he goes on the indie scene, he just embraces his theme song that he plays. Like, everyone was doing it and everything. Shit's beautiful. And then Homicide, too. Yo, Homicide surprised me in Bloodsport, bro. I've never seen Homicide in this environment. He did really well. Even though Lawler... Well, yeah, because, like, he's been fighting, like... He used to, like, team up with, like, Eddie Kingston and NWA for a while. And then he kind of became a free agent, and then he just been moving around. He hasn't really found a home yet, so he's been doing a lot of GCW shows, and I think this is one of his better showing. But yeah, him and Tom Lawler went crazy. Like that was my favorite match, and then my second was Moxley's match, and then third. Sorry no. My favorite match was the Moxley match. Then it was this match, and then it was Allison K and Killer Kelly. That match was crazy. Bro, Tom Lawler selling those chops was wild. I was like, yo, why are you selling these chops, bro? And then he even got out of the kicks, you know, like the kicks that Homicide was doing that like went viral, bro. He no-sold those kicks like if he like nothing, bro. Like Lawler is a beast, bro. Don't mess with my boy Tom Lawler, bro. Oh. Yeah, and I was very intrigued how Josh Alexander would face Davey Boy Smith. Yeah, I know. They had a match. Yeah, I know. One powerbomb knocked out Josh Alexander into existence. And I'm trying to find where the hell it is. No, that's not it. That's them doing submissions. Is that it? Oh, this is it right here. Let me move it back. Scroll back real quick. Alright.
Alexander with knees. And that forearm rocks Smith. Oh, who fires back? Oh, Alexander got tagged. And Josh is on wobbly legs here. Oh, kick right to the solar plexus.
Here it comes, here it comes.
And the power. The Liger Bomb. Alexander is out. Just like that out of nowhere. Davey Boy Smith Jr. Liger bombs Josh Alexander into victory.
Alright. I probably can't send it to Instagram because it's a long clip, so I'll send it to my normal phone. So just get ready for your iMessages.
Impressive display of power.
Alright, send it through. The clip is a little long, but context. They're basically throwing shots. Then Davey Boy hit him with a kick, and then he hit the Liger Bomb. Knocked the fuck out of Josh Alexander. He was out cold.